Dean often thought back to the days when he and Jamie were together, how she would light up a room with her laughter even on the darkest of days. Those were the moments he would cling to, even as time and distance had pulled them so far apart. It wasn't the love they once shared that kept her in his heart. It was the bond they had created, the shared experience of raising their daughter. He could never forget that. In the darkest moments, Jamie had been fragile, lost in her own battles, haunted by things she never fully let go of. Dean could still see her face, so much pain in her eyes, the weight of her past carrying her down paths she didn't want to walk. But even in that darkness, she had been strong. She had a resilience, one that Dean couldn't always fully understand, but one he admired deeply. She fought for survival, even when it felt like the world was working against her. There were times he wasn't able to be the partner she needed. He saw it clearly now, in hindsight, that he had been consumed by his own struggles, not always available, not always present when she needed him most. He wished he could take back those moments, wished he could have been the rock she deserved. But even in the worst of times, Jamie never stopped loving their daughter, and that love had been a constant, something that kept him tethered to her, even as they drifted farther apart. Then there were the best of times. Dean could still remember the joy they had shared, when things seemed like they were finally falling into place. Those were the moments when everything felt right in the world. The moments when they laughed together, when they made plans for the future, and when they talked late into the night about their hopes and dreams. He remembered how her eyes would sparkle when she talked about their daughter, how she believed in the future with such fierce optimism. Those moments were the ones he treasured most, the ones that made him believe that, despite everything, they had something special. And of course, their daughter, Trinity. She was the greatest gift Jamie ever gave him. Dean could never thank her enough for that, for the little girl who had filled his life with purpose, with love, with something that made all the darkness bearable. Trinity was his legacy, his pride, and in many ways, she was the reason he kept going. Even if he and Jamie would never be a couple again, even if the time and distance between them had made that impossible, Trinity was a living reminder of what they had shared. As much as Dean missed Jamie, the sound of her voice, the way she used to smile, the way they used to talk, he knew that the past was in the past. The years had shifted things, and the future would be different. But the love they had once shared was still there, in the form of Trinity. And that was enough. He knew that no matter what, that bond, that connection, would never go away. Dean knew they would never walk the same path again, but he could hold on to the memories, the laughter, the joy, the love they once shared, and carry them with him as he moved forward, as he continued to fight for what was right. He'd always be thankful for Jamie and the gift she gave him, their daughter. She was the light in the darkness, and no matter where life took him, that light would always shine through.